I guess everybody's got other things to be doing. Logging Daddy. First one. Bing! How we doing, guys? Got 12 of you on here. 17. Here we go. Wayne Tharp. Well, that echoes downstairs. Somebody's probably mad deer hunting down there now. Oh, there ain't nothing going on. Just kind of out looking for firewood on my place. Figured I'd come in and do a live feed. I ain't been on here forever. What's everybody up to on this fabulous Saturday? I can't believe I got the day off. G Chubb from the UK. How you doing, buddy? Glad to see you. Dark Horse Firewood. I'm just trying to, Mike, man, you been hunting? No, not today. I ain't been hunting for a pretty good while. I can't remember the last time I was hunting, but it's been a pretty good while. It's been too warm. It's like 55 degrees right here right now. If the wind would lay down, I probably would have went hunting today, but no, ain't been for a while. I got a metal plate in your head is making pick blurry. Oh yeah, cowboy? Oh yeah? How's that? Are you happy now? Do I need to go get some makeup put on for you, cowboy? I can't remember the last time I went deer hunting. Hang with me, guys. I'm gonna get up here at the top of the hill, and I'll probably have better cell phone signal up there. Shows they got pretty good signal here, but Skidder Kev, hunting Bud Lights. Yeah, I guess so. I don't want to get up top of the hill, but I need to get better signal. But the wind's kind of crazy up here today. Oh my God, cowboy. I smell a bonfire, and that can only mean that Mama's got the thermostat in the house set on like 80, and I'm starting to see the smoke come through the trees. Let me turn you around. If you look up towards that pine tree, you can see a haze up in there. That's coming from my outdoor wood boiler. I told Mama she needed to turn the wood stove on because it's been so hot here that the wood stove ain't been having to work to burn any wood, and I don't want the fire to go out. There's been a lot happen since I've been on here since the last time. You know what? Feeling lazy. I'm just gonna sit down right here, cowboy. Chit chat with you guys for a minute. Mama could do without me up there for a minute. Just for a minute though. Eating some deer chili right now. Roger, I've been wanting to make me some deer chili. Mama don't care for deer. I don't know why. She just don't. But I've been wanting to do me some deer chili. And I think I might on New Year's. I got a great big brush pile I need to get burnt off. If the weather's all right, I'd like to burn that brush pile off. Have a big fire, invite some people over and do some cooking and maybe drink some beer. Maybe do a YouTube live on New Year's. Mountain Man Logging. Hey, buddy, how are you? Good day. Might be because of the background up in the sky. I don't know. Might be cell phone signal too. I don't know. Yeah, Justin, it's been a pretty good weekend. Not very often I get Saturday and Sunday off. We got a little bit of rain this morning. It wasn't enough, I don't think, here. Of course, we're logging up there at Area 51 now, which is 90 to 100 miles north of here. So they might have got a little bit. It's halfway between here and Cowboy's house. They might have got a little bit more rain up in that neck of the woods to where we couldn't have logged. But here, we could have logged today. I got some trees that I wanted to get cut, but they're way too big for my little tractor to be dragging. Big black oak, a couple red oaks, big hickory or two. Enough to probably make somebody a little share logger a little bit of money, but it really ain't worth fooling with. I'd like to find somebody that's got a small skidder, and I just give them the wood if they drag the treetops out for me for firewood. Dark Horse, I don't need any more firewood. I think I've got enough firewood for this year, and what I'm doing now is actually for next year. I'll probably split a truckload of just a pickup truck. I'm not very good with the cord sizes just yet, but I'd say I've probably done 1/2 to 3/4 of a cord today of hickory and a little bit of red oak. My property's got so much sweet gum on it, and it's the size of it's too big to just throw on a brush pile and just let it burn. So that's what I'm doing right now, is going through and cutting all these bigger sweet gum, and I'm just going to set them aside for next winter, and they'll end up going in the wood boiler. I bought me an outdoor wood boiler. It's a Hardy H2. I think it heats around 2,600 feet, something like that. My house is just over 2,000 square feet, so it ain't having no problem at all heating that. And my wood right now is green, but it ain't having no problem eating it. Well, wants to know how the squirrels are doing. I was actually just thinking about them a while ago, because I was down there thinking about doing a video and posting it on YouTube, and I thought, I'll just go live. So much simpler. They got all these stupid jump rope hurdles and stupid things, left field liberal. You got to go through video on YouTube anymore. So whatever, we'll just go live. That is kind of one of the reasons why I just laid off of YouTube. It's not, YouTube to me was kind of like a hobby. I never wanted to make it a job like some of these other YouTubers that post either every day or a couple times a week. I don't want to make it a job. I want to find it interesting to keep people occupied or to put a smile on somebody's face, but to make it to where I'm making a living off YouTube's not my intentions at all. So that's one reason why I stay away from YouTube. But back to the squirrels. I was down there a while ago looking at some nuts on the ground, because I've been collecting nuts to replant on my property to get other than sweet gum to grow. And I just kind of thought, like, I wonder how the squirrels are doing, because I turned them loose. I can't remember when it was I turned them loose. I was at work on a Saturday. Mama said they were stinking the house up because we kept them in the house in a pet carrier. It was a pretty good sized pet carrier, but they was beginning to grow quite largely. I was feeding them acorns, red oak, white oak nuts. They didn't really care for hickory nuts. They had teeth, but they really didn't care for them. And we were still bottle feeding them to kind of get them a little bit more nutrition in them, along with the nuts we were giving them. They didn't care for corn. They liked popcorn if you popped it, but they really didn't care for it if it was solid corn kernels. But I was at work on a Saturday. Mama said they were stinking. And I built a squirrel coop outside for them to let them adapt to the temperature change instead of just taking them out and throwing them outside. So we'll take them out there and put them in that squirrel coop and just let them sit outside until I get home, and I'll put them up when I get home. And this was like 75, 85 degree weather. She took one of them out, took the pet carrier outside, stuck her hand there to grab one, and one of them come flying out of that pet carrier, hit her, and took off running up the maple tree. I get home, I get up in that maple tree for like 2 hours trying to catch it. It actually comes down the tree, runs across one of my arms, right across my chest, right across this arm, and I'm hanging onto a tree with this arm, and it runs right across me, and then goes right back up the maple tree. I thought, you know what? If that's how you want to be, fine. That's how it's going to be. And I had a whole bunch of Chinese chestnuts. We got 2 Chinese chestnuts here on the place, and I had a whole bunch of nuts, and they really liked them. And I stuck a whole bunch of them Chinese chestnuts at the bottom of that tree, and probably 5 to 10 pound of red oak nuts and some hickory nuts, some white oaks. Set them at the bottom of that tree, and I left a great big pan of water at the bottom of the tree. And I thought, it'll come down, and I'll leave the cage down here, the pet carrier at the bottom of the tree. It'll come down and it'll go back in there. Like 6 hours later, nothing had happened. And I thought, well, I don't want to grieve this one to death. So I climbed up in that maple tree and I turned the second one loose in the tree with the other one. That way they was both together. 1 week exactly went past and Mama found a carcass of a baby squirrel out there in the front yard. I don't know what had happened to it, but we got some chicken hawks flying around. There's a hoot owl down here about every night, right around where I'm sitting right now. He gets to barking around at night. I don't know. Maybe something killed it. Maybe it just didn't know how to fend for itself. It's been fed by me for the past month and a half. It died. I don't know. But regardless, I turned him loose. We found one dead carcass, which was pretty fresh, but something had eaten it. Like, it wasn't just dead and fell out of a tree. Something had tore into it and chewed it up pretty good. Don't know if it was one of my 2 babies or not, but it's kind of odd that there's 2 babies running loose in that area where we turned them loose by the house, and now there's a dead carcass laying there. So that's the story on the squirrels. I really hope that it wasn't none of the 2 that I had, and I hope one day when I'm sitting down here deer hunting and they come up and they're like, give me the peace sign with a nut in their mouth. That'd be pretty cool, but I don't hope it. I don't think it's going to happen, but I hope it does. Cowboy had deer chili this weekend. Whatever, Cowboy. You got probably the record Boone and Crockett buck running around your backyard, and you want to tell me you're eating deer chili. Hey, buddy, didn't Jack Beeler build Juicy, the 461 you had? Yes, Justin, Jack Beeler did build the 461 Juicy that I had. I also have a 395 in transit to a guy in Oregon. I dropped it off at the post office this morning. Getting a 395 GB monster build. GB being Greg Brewer. He's from somewhere out around Oregon. I can't remember the other guy that builds saws with him. I can't remember his name. But I do believe that Greg himself is going to do the port work on my saw that I'm getting done. Which is going to be some of the most extensive work that I've ever done on a saw. He's talking about doing some modifications to the crank. Talking about putting a 5th jet in a carburetor. It's supposed to be just an absolute insane torque monster. From what I gather. Talking to the guy on the phone, he sounds like a daggone scientist from some of the numbers this guy's giving me on what he's pulling off of the saw. It is unreal. I cannot wait to run it. What saw you falling with now on your place? Just running the 572 Kate. I brought it home for a couple weekends. Been playing around with it. Cleaned it up a little bit. Since we've had that saw, which has been over 2 years. It's not been in production for 2 years, but we have had our hands on it for 2 years. It gets ran here and there, here and there. It's never had the air filter blowed out that I know of. It's never had the spark plug changed that I know of. Fuel filter's never been changed. So I brought it home, did some loving on it, changed some things on it, and that's what I've been cutting firewood here with at home. Just got a 20-inch bar. It's not been ported, still bone stock. Husqvarna actually gave us that saw before they came out and wanted us to play around with it. And they told me whenever it was all said and done, they said, if you want to get it ported, more than welcome to port it now. But I've never messed with it. I don't have time to mess with anything like that. I barely have time to even keep my wood stove fed with firewood, let alone porting saws. Bob Brooks, I ain't seen you for a while. How you doing, buddy? Little Frosty from the UK. Wow. I ain't seen you for a while, Bob. How you doing, bub? Hi, Stevie from Scotland. By crikey, we got all kinds of mates across the ocean on here today. John Brown. Good to see you, bub. Not a problem at all, David. Thanks for checking in. Oh, video by Al. You ain't missed much. I think we're just now getting started. I need to get me about 5 or 6 more of these in me, and then we'll throw on live feed. Uh-oh. Mama says Hank and Sadie Joe's out here. Cowboy, here we go. Laugh out loud. I'm serious. Made a big batch of deer chili with some meat the neighbor gave me. Cowboy, it was probably their pet sheep or one of their goats. Justin, don't you worry at all. The $3.95 will definitely not be a live feed. It will be a edited up video published on YouTube. I will go through the hoops and the boundaries to make all the liberals happy, and I'll post a video or two of the $3.95. I really don't know what or where I will be able to do this because, like I said, we are logging back on Area 51. For those of you that don't know, Area 51 is the military base up in Crane. It's a naval base. They do not allow any video in at all on the premises, and I honor that. I don't do videos on that place. I don't want to get in trouble by them. We're there to do business. We're not there to video, or at least I'm not. So I don't do videos on Crane. But I got a couple buddies that's needing some trees cut, and I might be able to sneak off on weekends here and there and get it done enough to make some video of it. I got a buddy on Facebook that goes by the name of Joe Johnson. He's actually going to grab that saw from Greg Brewer and run it out there in Oregon, felling big fir and I guess Douglas pine or whatever they got out west. I got a hold of him on Facebook. I said, hey, won't you go over to Greg, because he's buddies with Greg. I said, go grab that saw and take it to your job and get me some video of felling some huge West Coast timber with it. That's on my bucket list, is to go out west. I don't care who it's with. I'd like to go out there with Joe, or if Greg Brewer himself could hook me up with somebody and fell timber with some of them guys out west. I would love that. But that's on the bucket list. But Joe's going to do it for me. Grab me a couple trees with it, and he's going to just break it in, that kind of thing. And then send me the saw back from either him or Greg. Greg gets on them saws pretty quick. He's kind of the 1%er is what everybody calls him, because he's kind of got a high price on his builds. I'm talking U.S. money. I'm not talking UK money or Canadian money or nothing like that. But U.S. money, that saw's going to cost around $750 to get ported and shipped back to me. Husqvarna's not paying for none of this. YouTube's not paying for none of this. I think my brother just pulled up. He's probably looking for some firewood. This is all coming straight out of my pocket, so it's kind of a salty build. It's more money than what I've ever put in Juicy. Juicy was like a $650 build, and this is a big block Juicy is what this is going to be. I got a 461. Want to get it ported, lit up. I fall with it a little every day, and fall with it every day right now stock. Justin, I don't know if you have Facebook or not, but you need to get a hold of me on Facebook or send me an email, and I'll get you Greg Brewer's number. You can get in touch with him. This ain't the only build he's got. It's not just a $700 build. He's got a couple different things he does. Looks like I'm going to have to scat off here. My brother's looking for some firewood. All right, guys. I'll be back later on, probably tonight. Get a little salty. A little saucy. See ya.